When relationships collapse, it rarely erupts in one explosive moment. More often it's quieter, a gradual unraveling that erodes you piece by piece. At night I waited for Samantha to return. Midnight passed, and so did my patience. She had gone out with her friends, saying she needed room to breathe. When the door finally creaked open and I saw her, my chest tightened. She looked like she had been dragged through chaos. Her hair was tangled. Her clothes were creased, stretched as if pulled by ends. And then something else caught my something I couldn't ignore. Faint dampness on her thighs. Froze. Air around her carried cologne. Not hers. Not mine. Someone else's. A stranger's. I said nothing, guiding her to bed in silence. I cleaned her up quietly while my heart pounded with dread. What happened, Sam? I asked gently, though my voice shook. Her eyes were glazed and steady. She struggled to meet mine. Didn't mean anything, just once. Sorry, she whispered, her voice heavy with alcohol. Those words cut deeper than anything else could. Sorry for what? I wanted to demand. I needed answers, but I held back. Not then. Not while she was like that. I swallowed it. Questions, the fury, the ache. Tucked her in and stepped outside the room, barely breathing. Part of me still hoped it was a mistake. But deep down I already knew something had happened, something that might never be forgiven. By morning, when the alcohol faded, I knew it was time to face reality. I had barely closed my eyes. My mind replayed the night endlessly. Words, the smell, the state she returned. I sat at the kitchen table, waiting. Photos spread out before me like a silent charge. Samantha walked in slowly, still wearing the same wrinkled clothes from the night before. Her eyes were swollen, weighed down by guilt. She froze when she saw the pictures. I had taken them the night before, not out of spite, but because I needed proof, something real. When my thoughts felt unreal, close-up of the stains, a faint handprint. Her waist. I wished it wasn't true, but there it was, undeniable. Do you even remember what you did last night? My tone was low, not harsh, but hurting. Her face crumbled and she broke. Right there in the kitchen. Tears poured down as her body shook. I'm sorry, she murmured. It was a mistake. I didn't mean it. I couldn't handle it anymore. A mistake, I repeated sharply. You didn't just trip into this. You chose it. You went to that bar, drank, and you let someone else touch you. He tried to blame the alcohol, tried to say she wasn't thinking, but it didn't matter. Her words felt empty, as though she was soothing herself, not truly facing what she'd done. That truth wounded me deeper than anything. I need air, I muttered. Standing up. I couldn't sit and watch her weep for herself. I walked out, leaving her alone with the ruin she caused. Don't just sweep something like this away. Not when trust has been shattered. Not when your world feels like it's collapsing. I tried to bury the questions, but they clawed back. Who was he? Why her? And most of all, how long? Her confession had been messy, but one name slipped out. Adam. That was enough. With social media, I found him quickly. Adam was exactly what I expected. Well-groomed, smooth-talking, picture perfect, the kind who could charm anyone. What crushed me more was realizing he wasn't a stranger. Samantha followed him. He followed her. This wasn't some random mistake. It was a bond. Then I learned something that twisted my stomach. Adam was married. Not only married, but a father. His social media was a glossy portrait of happiness, family trips, birthday cakes, weekend cookouts, soft mornings. He looked like he had it all. So did I, until now. The deeper I looked, the clearer it became. This wasn't chance. It was arranged. I needed more. Needed the whole truth even if it destroyed me. So while she slept I went through her phone. I told myself it was for closure, though maybe it was just desperation. The messages were brief, casual but condemning. Adam knew she'd be at the bar. Their texts were light, teasing, carrying an unspoken agreement. He went there because she would. Wasn't chance. It was planned. My hands trembled as I read them. They didn't spell out everything, but they didn't need to. I saw enough. It wasn't some drunken slip. It was intentional, calculated, and that shattered me all over again. They both knew exactly what they were doing that night. Watching their exchanges left no room for doubt. That was when I decided Adam's wife had a right to the truth about her husband. She deserved honesty just as I did. After confronting him, my next step would be to face Samantha. The divorce was already underway, but I needed closure before I could completely let go. I had his name. I had the proof. Now I had a plan. This wasn't about revenge. It was about truth. My marriage was ending, his wouldn't remain. I struggled with the choice to reach out to Adam's wife, Charlotte. Some might argue it wasn't my place, but I didn't see it that way. She had every right to know. So I sent her a message, carefully phrased, asking if we could meet. She answered that same day, and we set a time at a small cafe downtown. Neutral place where emotions wouldn't explode. Charlotte was already there when I arrived, sitting alone at a small table. She looked simple but graceful. Dark hair tied back, modest clothes, and a quiet unease in her eyes. She greeted me politely though uncertain. When she mentioned Adam, there was warmth in her expression that made what I had to say so much harder. I didn't try to soften. I told her plainly, "Your husband had an affair with my wife." Her smile faded. Her hand shook as she lowered her. For a long moment she just stared, unable to process my words. Then I laid out the proof, screenshots of their messages, pictures from that night, even a recording where my wife said his name. She studied everything in silence, her face growing paler with each detail. Tears gathered in her eyes, but she held them back. At last she whispered, trembling but steady, "Thank you for telling me." I nodded and stood to go. There was nothing else to add. Whatever came next for her and Adam wasn't mine to decide. As I walked away, emotions collided within me, anger, guilt, and strange relief. But my focus had to turn to reclaiming my own life, starting by letting go of what was left of my marriage. Back home, everything felt different. The house no longer felt like home. Samantha moved like a shadow, crushed by regret. It showed in every look, every word. She tried to repair things. There were tears, pleas, and promises. She swore she'd seek therapy, do anything to fix it. She whispered constantly, "Don't give up on us." Left notes tucked in my jacket or on my pillow. "I love you," they said. "I'll never hurt you again." First I read. Later I stopped. She cooked my favorite meals nightly, trying to create normalcy. But I couldn't sit across from her and pretend. A part of me wanted to believe her. I wanted to forgive. Wanted to salvage what we built. Every thought of her with another man felt like a blade in my chest. Respect, the trust, it was gone. One night she found me in the living room, eyes swollen from crying. Her voice shook as she said, "Please, Brad, I love. I'll do anything." I looked at her, really looked, and said quietly, "I don't think so." She collapsed, sobbing, as though her soul was breaking. For days afterward, silence filled the house. No pleading, no shouting, just the weight of what she had done. Hope. The quiet would bring clarity, but deep down I knew. Some wounds never heal. During those days I prepared for what was next. I organized papers, closed counts, packed memories away. Revisited our past, every laugh, every fight, searching for something worth holding. But it wasn't enough. One morning I found her sitting in the living room, eyes red, shoulders heavy. I held the divorce papers in my hand. Paused, not from doubt but from knowing what it meant. This was the end. You made your choice that night, I said, evenly. This is mine. Placed the papers before her. She froze, hands trembling as she reached for them. Brad, please, she begged, voice breaking. We can fix this. Anything. She fell to her knees, clinging to my hand. But I knew it was finished. Pulled away gently. Can't, I said. I've tried, Sam. I really have. But I can't see you the same. I can't see us the same. My voice didn't rise. Didn't need to. The finality was clear. Walked away, leaving her sobbing on the floor. As I stepped out, calm settled over me. Grief, yes, but also freedom. For the first time in years I could breathe. It wasn't the ending I wanted, but it was the ending I needed. Betrayals cut too deep to ever mend. Hers did. Strange how something once so vital can close with such emptiness. But that was reality. Left. The marriage broken but free. First, I couldn't sleep in our room. Her scent lingered with the memories. Stayed on couch. Slowly things shifted. Focused on what lay ahead, not what was lost. I bought new furniture, moved things, repainted the walls. It wasn't just about space. It was about claiming my life again. The scars remained, but with time the pain dulled. In their place grew something new, peace. Never knew what became of Samantha after we signed the papers. We cut contact. Heard bits, she struggled, life wasn't easy. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Doesn't heal wounds. It only teaches you how to live with them. For me, healing was learning to value solitude. Quiet. Peace was better than love poisoned by lies. As for Samantha, I hope she learns to bear her choices. Not for me or herself. In the end, we both lost. Lost the woman I thought I knew. Lost the life we created. But the difference is I found something in the ruins. Found myself. And that made every painful step worth it.